in for another live stream on this beautiful Saturday evening. Approaching summer, it's almost summertime, and about a couple more days, about 10 more days, or 11 more days, about 13 more days is going to be summertime, and everybody's out. School is going to be out. If not in your jurisdiction, school is already out. Y'all enjoying your summer vacation. Everybody's out. Everybody's enjoying the summer, the warm weather, rainstorms, and whatever. Until football season comes around, which is back in September. But I'm not going to keep y'all too long. I'm just enjoying a Cuban cigar. Boom. Right there. Because I know you don't want to hear an old about nonsense. All right. Well, I know there's a topic that's going on, the Carmelo Anthony trial. And I want to talk to you young brothers about this trial, and how this could be avoided, and how y'all need to be on your P's and Q's. Now, I don't know really too much about the story. I know that it was a track event, and he was there. Carmelo Anthony was there. It was raining, so he decided to duck into a tent where he wasn't supposed to be. Supposedly, we're not supposed to be, but it's not really a big deal. It was raining. I don't know. So they decided to tell him to get the fuck out. He refused. Austin Metcalf just ran up on him and said, "Hey man, get the fuck out." Tried to force him out, which was a big mistake. And he got stabbed and eventually died from his injuries. And now Carmelo Anthony is up on murder charges, which I seriously think it should have been manslaughter. Whatever. But they're holding on to the self-defense. Now, I'm not going to talk about the trial itself because personally I don't really give a fuck about the trial. There was a black kid, a black child that stabbed to death a white child. White folks are going to be in a nigger outrage. A fake nigger outrage. So he needs to go to prison. He needs to do this. His bail is $250,000. Why is Chuck Builders of $1 million? Well, first of all, Chuck Builder. It's already been explained, but I'll explain it to you. What he did was so egregious that he went to a courthouse with this bullshit. He did this in front of a courthouse, where there's court officers, police officers, sheriff's deputies in the area. And typically you're not really supposed to have a gun, a weapon, specifically a gat, a jammy, a thing on you while you're going to court. Now, I don't know why he was going to court. He probably missed a court date or something like that because of some bullshit that he wasn't doing. Probably trespassing, theft, harassment. You know, y'all want to support, but white folks, y'all want to support this criminal. You have every right to support a criminal. I mean, black folks support criminals too. So, you know, you go ahead and support a criminal if you want to. That says a lot about your IQ, because I don't support criminals. You know, you commit a crime, that's your ass. I say that if you're white, if you're black, if you're Hispanic, Hindu, Gook, whatever, Asian, whatever. You commit a crime, you're on your own. You get no love from me. But in this case with Carmelo Anthony, well, my personal opinion, I think his goose is cooked. because there's testimony that black children are testifying that their testimony really supports the fact that it wasn't self-defense. Clue number 2, all-white jury. You know what that means if there's an all-white jury and there's a black suspect down in deep South Texas, Republican Texas. You know what that's going to be about. So this goose is cooked. You know, this young boy don't have a chance. You know, as far as the defense, getting out of this stuff, getting out of the charges that's levied upon him. The best thing he can do is just plead guilty to manslaughter, get 5 years in prison or probation or whatever, and move on with life. That's what I would do. But I just wanted to talk about the fake white nigger outrage about this case. I mean, it really isn't a big deal. And I'm more shocked that most black folks are pretty much supporting this. Supporting Austin Metcalf and his family. They're against this. They're against Carmelo Anthony. They think that he's guilty and justice should be served. My personal opinion, I don't think it's a national story. But if it is, but the reason why it's a national story because it's a black child murdered a white child. Then you got fat ass Jason Whitlock talking hot cash shit when he really should be sticking to sports. This is not a sport. This is not a sports story. I could care less about his opinion or anybody else's opinion on the case because it's in trial. It's going to happen. The facts are coming out, and you know this kid's goose is cooked. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm not riding in the streets over this bullshit because that's what it is. It's just racial. It's just racial. You know, people are stuck with racial ideology. You know, they see race over facts, and so is this fat fuck Jason Whitlock. He's always fanning the flames of the racial tensions in this country. I mean, this is not really a story that anybody should be talking about. I don't even talk about it. I don't really give a fuck. But y'all give me a reason to give a fuck about this case. I don't know. Give me a reason to give a fuck. I don't know too much about it. Give me a reason to give a fuck. Now, let me just go ahead and switch gears about that child, the Henry child, I think, down in South Carolina that was found not guilty for shooting down a young black boy that ran away from them for stealing a bottle of water. Now, I told y'all, and I did a podcast about it years ago. And I think it's titled "The Compartmentalization of Black Folks." Well, because years ago there was a beauty supply store over in Oklahoma, I believe, and an Asian shop owner whooped this black girl's ass for stealing. And I believe she was stealing, but when these motherfuckers come over here, they see theft a lot as a crime where you deserve to get your ass whooped. And personally, I agree with it. But the fact of the matter is, you took the law and you're in the United States. You took the law in your own hands. which is sorely by law enforcement, the courts, it's discouraged unless you're feeling threatened. And everybody, do the comparisons of Latasha Harlings back in 1991. And I heard about that story back in 1991 when I was about 16 years old. And I saw the grainy CC closed caption video, the security video. And it was disturbing that, the young lady, Tasha Harlings, went to school, paid for the drink, put the drink in her book bag, left the money. The store owner was fucking with her, so she left the orange juice, left the store, and this punk ass bitch took the gun and shot her right in the back of the head for no damn reason, just because she was scared. Punk ass bitch got convicted, found guilty of manslaughter, but didn't receive any prison time, just received probation. So she was allowed to walk free. Got a felony conviction, but was allowed to walk free amongst the people. And I'm happy about the people of Los Angeles, the black folks of Los Angeles, to make sure that store, that Korean grocery store, convenience store, does not get reopened. And I think the citizens of South Carolina, especially Columbia, South Carolina, they want to make sure that nobody spends another dime in that gas station. Now you got some punk ass group that came out saying, your black folks, you can go ahead and boycott. Where you going to get your Chinese food? Where you going to get the electronic equipment that you use? Where you going to get your hair supplies and all that bullshit? And Tariq Nishi broke it down that, something that I was going to break down here on my live stream, that the Asians that are in our community are parasitic. They're parasites, people. They were put here because they can't go in the white community and open up a beauty supply store for white women. They can't do that. They're not going to put up a hair nail salon in a white neighborhood. Okay? They're not going to do that. They're not going to let them do that. Oh, a takeout Chinese restaurant? No. A liquor store? I mean, this group actually brought up where you going to get your liquor from. Well, first of all, having a liquor store in our community, in black communities, I wish there wasn't access to alcohol in our community, because that's what's caused all this violence and all this chemical dependency and health issues among black Americans. You're contributing to the health issues for black Americans. You're not really putting anything out there positive. The nasty Chinese food. I haven't had nasty ass Chinese food in the last 2 years. I only had it one time. That nasty shit. And then you got the mystery meat, the rat meat that y'all eating, that they call chicken, which I believe is either rat meat. All right? Either rat meat or pigeon meat, because it's damn sure ain't chicken. All right? When they have their stores, You go patronize these convenience stores. They sell expired shit. They sell expired food, canned food, milk, dairy products. Everything is expired because these motherfuckers do not believe in disposing it. They believe in getting your money, get up, hurry up and pay, and buy this nasty shit. Buy this shit that get all your babies sick, get you sick, your children sick, and they charge you twice as much as if you go to the supermarket and get the same items. So that's why I don't buy from these motherfuckers. I don't give my money to them. Did my boycott years ago. Because black folks have been putting these motherfuckers to school. Their children to college. And Tariq also pointed out that, yeah, we don't have the opportunity to have our own convenience stores, our own businesses in our own community, is because we were told when we were in high school, including myself, go to college. Even though you don't have the money to go to college, yeah, just go ahead, take out a student loan. Just go ahead and take out a student loan. And then you take out the student loan, you get a job, you have what? Credit cards. You use your credit cards to just get by, to survive. So we're always heavily in debt. Or you buy a house. You're stupid enough to buy a house at a young age, knowing that you're going to be house poor. Yeah, that's right, people. When you buy, it's not always. That's why I say it's not always good to buy a house. It's always good to rent a little bit, so you won't be house poor. And what I mean by house poor is that, let's say that your mortgage is about $1,700 a month. That's including insurance, taxes, and interest, and the principal. Pity. That's $1,700 a month. Your net income minus any incident, minus your taxes and your deductions, you end up making you ended up clearing about $4,000 a month gross, or $5,000 a month gross. But with taxes, it's going to put you at $3,500. So more than 50%. Yeah, more than 50% of your income is devoted to your house. Not knowing that you also have utilities. If you have a car note, that's going to put you on, and you got car expenses, vehicle, because nobody lives near, not y'all motherfuckers, y'all don't live near public transportation. Y'all got to drive everywhere. And then if you have a girlfriend, you want to take your girlfriend out. So you're in the hole. You're in the hole for buying a house. That's what I mean by house poor. And God forbid if you need any repairs done to your house, because you got to have constant upkeep to your house. If the air conditioner goes out, the boiler goes out. That's gonna cost you an arm and a leg, people. That's why I tell y'all to just rent for a little while. Rent for a little while. You know, if you own your own home, you're your own janitor. In the words of Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah, I never own. I always rent. Because when you own, you're your own janitor. I get no respect around here, I tell you. But that's just how it is, man. You're gonna be house poor. But getting back to this punk motherfucker about boycotting, and I suggest all y'all black folks, y'all should stop patronizing these motherfuckers. You don't need to eat that nasty ass food, Chinese food, that nasty ass takeout food. You don't need to be buying liquor. You don't need to go. You don't need to go get your nails done by these motherfuckers. And you certainly don't need to be going to get gas from these motherfuckers. How come there's no black folks that own gas stations? Why is it always either some gook or or a towel head that owns these motherfuckers? These are pretty good businesses. To owning a gas station as well as a convenience store attached to a gas station. How come there's no brothers and sisters going into that business? Why we always gotta go to corporate America? Why we gotta do all this shit? See, I'm gonna have to do part two too. There's plenty of work. There's no jobs, but there's plenty of work. And I'm gonna outline some of the YouTube videos that I found where you can start your own business, find work. And it ain't gonna cost you about thousands of dollars. You can do that in your garage. You can do that in your backyard if you have a house. You can do that in your garage. And I'm gonna put that together. Let me see where we at. All right, I ain't got no. All right, 22 minutes in. I almost finished my cigar. But let me go ahead and get the fuck up out of here. I might do a live stream tomorrow, probably part two. But let me go ahead and get the fuck up out of here. This is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here. And black folks, let's be careful out there, all right?